North of Jerusalem, a new Palestinian city is rising on a hill in the West Bank. Several thousand people are to move next year into the first 600 homes. Eventually, a city will rise with a population of 25,000.
The new city, called Rawabi, will be the first modern planned Palestinian city, incorporating a grand vision for schools, sports facilities, a business district, and shopping malls. But there have been challenges, as VOA correspondent Scott Bobb told our Doug Bernard. Let's start with a look at some of Scott's report.
Rawabi
will be the first modern planned Palestinian city, as seen in this promotional video, incorporating a grand vision for schools, sports and entertainment facilities, a business district, and shopping malls. All will be linked by fiber optic cable and other advanced technologies.
Scott, you visited this new city that's under construction, Rawabi. Tell us what you saw when you went there.
Well, it's very much a site under construction, a work in progress. It's very ambitious. It covers all of just about of the top of a hill outside of Ramallah. And of course, they're going to add apartments and a whole different range of living abodes as they go along.
It looks more than ambitious. It looks really quite luxe. I mean, who's going to be living there?
It's the initial phases are aimed at probably Palestinian professionals and wealthy or modestly wealthy business people. There's talk later on of adding low-income housing, but first they have to get this part of the project funded, and at $1 billion estimated, that's a lot of money.
What was the genesis of this project?
The genesis lies with the director and part owner, Bashar al-Masri, who was born in the West Bank and then went to the United States as a young man.
He worked 25 years in America before returning home with a vision.
I wanted to do a large project that has a great economic impact on Palestinian economy, create thousands of jobs instead of hundreds of jobs.
Will this be solely for Palestinians, or could you imagine maybe like a real genuine mixed community there?
It's envisioned as mixed from a religious point of view. It's going to have a mosque and a church, and something like 10 to 20% of the people so far have been Christian. It'll be predominantly Muslim. There's a problem for Israeli citizens in that technically they're not allowed to go into the West Bank because of security fears. And of course, I think down the road, the hope might be that if there's a peace agreement and peace, that even Israelis and possibly Jewish people could establish themselves there. At the moment, though, it's very much a Palestinian, Christian, Muslim, Palestinian endeavor.
Okay, it looks ambitious. It looks like there's a lot of activity there. But there are some challenges. And I understand, for example, that there's only one road into this development.
Well, yes. Although the city is being built in an area that is under the control of the Palestinian Authority called Area A, the water supply is in Area C, which is still controlled by Israel, and the road must pass through parts of Area C.
Its water supply, also under Israeli control, is subject to cutoffs. The Palestinian Authority, which governs here, has not provided funds for the schools, clinics, or infrastructure. Nearby Israeli settlers oppose the project, but Masri refuses to back down, saying Rawabi is sending a message.
That yes, we can build a nation. We could do more despite the occupation.
The owner and his people are still quite keen and quite optimistic, but these are frustration or what they call challenges.
And looking at the design, it's very modern, at least as what they're planning at this point. Do Palestinians look at this project in a way that says, well, perhaps this is somehow emblematic of their trying to build a new modern nation?
I think those that think about it, yes, very definitely. And some of these well-educated young professionals, they're interested, of course, in the price. They're interested in the modernity. But there is that sense of pride of having something that's modern and different and like other modern cities, planned cities in other parts of the Middle East and the rest of the world. So yes, I'd say that is a factor for some people.
And again, that was VOA Jerusalem correspondent Scott Bobb. Now, according to Scott, the sales prices of these very modern apartments are actually considerably cheaper than comparable units in nearby Jerusalem and even Ramallah.